Hey everyone, Rick Albert here with a general update. We're going to talk about a couple different things. So let's start with the basics. So first and foremost, if you are a realtor, real estate agent, the state of California has deemed us as an essential service. This means we can't do open houses, but we can do showings. Now, every city, county, whatever has their own guidelines as well. So for example, in LA, we actually can't do showings. They're prohibited. So what are people doing? They're doing the virtual tours, right? So we're offering our clients Zoom meetings, Google Hangouts, FaceTime, Skype, whatever you feel most comfortable with. And we'll walk through the property saying, hey, here's the kitchen, here's the bathroom, here's all that fun stuff. If you like it, write an offer. If it gets accepted, then you can check it out while under contract, because all those other services are still working. The home inspectors, the appraisers, just make sure you understand, give it time. Now on the lender side, it's a little bit different. So we have to remind ourselves that the banks, small, large, or indifferent, are not government owned. They are private companies. So because of that, when they give out loans, it's all about evaluating risk. And right now, because they can't predict the future, there is some concern over that risk. So you have to talk to your lender to say, am I still qualified for this loan? For example, the credit scores used to be 580, now some are saying 680. It all depends. You have to have those conversations. The jumbo loans, whole nother world, and they are struggling. So again, have the conversations. Now, let's talk about what's going on in the housing market. Homes are still buying and selling. People are still moving. We're still seeing stuff pending. We're still seeing stuff come to the market and going into escrow. So things are still happening. Yes, at a slower rate, obviously. What's going to happen going forward in the market? It's hard to say, right? Even people who've been in the industry for 20, 30 years can't say with absolute certainty what's going to happen. All we can do is look at the facts. So here's fact number one. Prior to COVID-19, before the lockdown, we'll say February, right? It was right before the lockdown. The lockdown started happening mid-March. The month supply for LA County was at 2.1 months. What does that mean? When you look at month supply, you say, okay, if no new homes came to the market, so in other words, every home that's on the market is on the market, nothing new, it would only take about 2 months for all that stuff to sell. That means it's a seller's market. A balanced market is at 6 months, right down the middle. So if month supply was 8 months, then it would be a buyer's market, because it just takes a long time for stuff to sell. Knowing that in February we were at 2.1, that effectively means inventory would have to basically triple just for it to be an average market. So that means it would have to more than triple for it to be a buyer's market. So then we have to ask ourselves, how likely is it that all these new listings are going to come onto the market all at the same time? That's up for you to decide. The next thing to talk about is what's going on in China. Now, in China, they are starting to have the COVID-19 outbreak and everything under control. So what does that mean? Prices have surged. Sales have actually tripled for the major cities in China. So if that's an indication of what's going to happen here, likely to be in good shape. Again, all we can do is look at the facts. The fact is China's further ahead and they're curving the pandemic, and their sales have gone up. So that kind of gives you a rough picture of what's going on in the housing market. If you are interested in buying or selling, best thing you can do right now is talk to a lender and also talk to a decent realtor, a great one if you can find one, such as myself. I'm happy to talk to you. Even if you're not looking to buy today and you're looking to buy 2-3 years down the road, still have the conversation, because it's free to have and it's good to empower yourself with that knowledge. Now, for those that are small business owners, keep in mind there are certain loans that you can apply for through the SBA. It's usually up to $10,000. You can check your local banks. Keep in mind it is first come, first serve. So once they're out, the lenders are out of the money, they're out of the money. So if it's something that you think you need, start to have the conversation now. Now, for those that own a mortgage and they're thinking, hey, I don't know if I can make these payments going forward. What do I do? There is the forbearance process. Now, people are thinking that, let's say I'm going to push it out 3 months, that 3 months gets tacked on to the end of the loan. That is not the case. I cannot stress that enough. Every bank is going to offer something different. Forbearance, for the most part, probably 99% of the time, based off the lenders I'm talking to, just means at the end of the 3 months, you have a fat balloon payment. So if your payments are $2,000 a month and you wait 3 months, now you got to pay that $6,000 plus your $2,000 that you already owe. That's $8,000. So keep that in mind. If you can make your payments or even a partial payment, it's encouraged to do so. Also keep in mind that the lenders they're servicing the loan, but they may not actually own it anymore. So for example, let's say you have a 4% interest rate and you got it through Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo then sells the loan to another investor at 3.75%. So that new investor is getting your loan for 3.75, and Wells Fargo is keeping that 0.25% just to service it, to collect the payments, to deal with the foreclosures, all that kind of stuff. The issue is if everybody does a forbearance program, Wells Fargo is going to be in trouble because they still have to make those payments to the investor regardless if you pay. So whether you like it or not, whether you like the big banks or not, if they can't make the payments to their lenders, what makes you think that they're going to be willing to work with you when the time comes? Something to think about. Again, I can't speak on behalf of the banks, but it's good to have those conversations. Last but not least, super exciting news. I am being interviewed by Startup REI. That is happening April 8th. Wanted to end this on a lighter note, where I'm going to be talking about how I house hacked into actually owning 3 doors, right? A house with an ADU and a condo, as well as a Q&A, so you can ask all those big questions that you might have. I look forward to it. The information will either be in the show notes, or if it's on Instagram, it's in the bio link. Again, April 8th at 7 p.m. You can register because we're going to be sending out the link the day of. Thank you all. Stay happy, stay safe, and I'll talk to you soon. Hey everyone. Hopefully you liked the video. If so, please don't forget to give it a like. Maybe show some love in the comments. Also, don't forget to subscribe. We do have other videos posted. Please go ahead and watch them, enjoy them. They'll be posted somewhere here. Feel free to click or just view the channel in general. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you next week.